I had just received word that TxDOT has announced that starting March 21st, 2025, the Rainbow Bridge will be closed for its restoration and preservation efforts. So, knowing my schedule, this was probably going to be the last time I was going to cross the Rainbow Bridge for 2 years. The following is from 12newsnow.com. The Rainbow Bridge will close for 18 months beginning March 21st, weather permitting, as part of the Rainbow Bridge Maintenance Project. During this time, all traffic will be detoured to the Veterans Memorial Bridge, which will have 2 lanes in each direction. A temporary detour has been constructed on the west side of the Veterans Memorial Bridge for westbound traffic going into Port Arthur. Now, some Southeast Texans say they're not looking forward to finding a new way to work. Public Information Officer for TxDOT Beaumont District, Tanya Avila, says she understands the difficulties this project may cause. Avila says the maintenance project will focus on adding safer railings and fixing the nearly 90-year-old bridge's steel structure. Some voiced concerns about hurricane evacuation routes, and others still suggested adding a ferry to cross the Neches River. There will, in fact, be a few routes added to help bypass the construction of the bridge. One of these routes involves turning the Veterans Memorial Bridge into a 2-lane road. However, TxDOT says either route will add time on the roads. TxDOT suggests checking the traffic each time you plan to use the bridge. The maintenance project is expected to last about 18 months, according to the press release. Off to the far left, you can see a patch of dark pavement that will serve as the detour back over to the westbound lanes after people cross from Bridge City back over to Port Arthur. But in the meantime, this concrete barrier is an indicator of how the road will be divided between westbound and eastbound traffic. There will be 2 lanes on the westbound side, as there are 2 lanes over here on the east side, of which I'm on now. Now, this is not new for me. When I was a teenager, the Rainbow Bridge was closed off for the very same reason. And the Veterans Memorial Bridge was more than big enough to handle the 2 lanes of traffic going into Bridge City and the 2 lanes of traffic going towards Port Arthur. So I know the bridge can handle the load. But we just got to ensure that we, the drivers who use these bridges, always have safety in mind. On a bridge that has 2-way traffic, here's some things we have to remember. First off, always hold your line. It's always best to stay in the lane that you're in and make sure you hold a straight line as you go forward. You do not want to spook the traffic to your right or to your left. Another thing is maintain a safe following distance between you and the vehicle in front of you. You'll never know what is behind the bend or over the other side of the bridge. As you can see right now, I'm maintaining more than 3 seconds of following distance between me and the car in front of me. That is good. Make sure you maintain that, because you'll never know if there's debris on the other side or any other obstacles that can pop out of nowhere. I know I've kind of stressed out already. A little reminder never hurts. And I know this goes without saying, but make sure you obey all speed limits. Not only does the bridge have to take the weight of all the cars, but it has to be taken at the appropriate speeds, or it will add more stress and strain to the bridge. And obviously, the heavier the vehicle, the more stress and strain you're going to add if you go past the speed limits. Again, always err on the side of caution. On the other side of the bridge, they're still marking the lanes for the 2-way traffic up here, which is why the traffic has to be reduced from 2 lanes to 1 lane. And I know this is temporary, but as you see, we go from one type of terrain to another. As you see, the terrain here has become a lot more rough and a lot more unstable. And that goes the same for most, if not all, construction sites on Texas roads. As always, in every single construction zone, exercise even greater caution. Reduce your speeds, increase your following distance. And also, before you even get on the road, double check your tires. Make sure you have plenty of tread on your tires, so that way you have maximum gripping power. If it rains or if it's too windy, you're going to feel the vehicle shift side to side, and that's going to create a very unsafe situation. I knew this would probably be the last time that I was going to cross the Rainbow Bridge for a couple of years. So I wanted to make sure I took advantage of this. Because when you have a revolutionary bridge that has helped your community grow and thrive over so many decades and almost a century, you're going to want to take advantage of it. I'm also very well aware that this stretch between the Nature's River and the Sabine Lake is a major stomping ground for fishermen and sportsmen alike. So they will have to make some adjustments, at least on the north side of this. But let's not forget, there's also spots in Orange and all along the Sabine Lake area, not to mention Pleasure Island in Port Arthur, and Bolivar Peninsula going towards Galveston. You know what? All up and down the Gulf Coast. There's lots to do out here in Texas, so don't be afraid to look around and find new spots. And let's not forget, there's also Sabine Pass, not too far from Port Arthur too. The following article is from KJAS.com. The Texas Department of Transportation has announced that a major thoroughfare used each day by people living in Jasper and Newton counties but working in the refining, petrochemical, and marine industry will soon be closed for as long as 18 months. Officials say the work is necessary to keep the Rainbow Bridge, which was opened in 1938, in safe condition and operation. During that time, all traffic will be routed by way of the neighboring Veterans Memorial Bridge, which opened in 1988. The Rainbow Bridge, which is an icon of Southeast Texas, spanning the Nature's River between Jefferson and Orange counties, stands a total of 230 feet above the water, giving ships and other marine vessels a 177-foot clearance as they travel to and from, among other stops, the port of Beaumont. might seem very silly of me to really pay a lot of respect to a bridge, but when it offers spectacular views like that, and knowing how much it has helped a community thrive and grow for the last century, you cannot help but admire that. And I really hope over the next couple of years, the rest of Southeast Texas will cherish the Rainbow Bridge, especially when it opens back up in 2 years. In the meantime, this is SFAPowerhouse signing off, wishing everybody well. Take care, God bless you all, and as always, enjoy the ride.